Hey everyone, DJ Ranma S here at Katsucon 20 years of a great convention. We're here on Saturday hanging out with some great people. And today, as a guest on our show, one of the legends in the industry, Mr. Steve Bennett.
Thank you very much. How you doing? How you doing?
Good. Pleasure all mine.
Thank you.
What brings you to Katsucon this year, good sir?
Well, what brings me to Katsucon this year is it's the 20th anniversary of Katsucon, of course. And Katsucon, if most of the folks out there that know and remember me, this was my home convention.
Yeah.
Back in 1995, it was the very first convention that ever asked me to come. And it happened to be in Virginia, so I lived in Richmond, and it was nice and close by. And I have fond memories here, so this is where I call home.
Awesome, awesome. So, how did you get into the whole industry itself?
Well, it's a long story, but basically I was a kid living in Japan, got very lucky, got to work with Nobu Furuse and the Japanese animation studios over there. I started out as an apprentice, and then eventually came back to the United States in the 1990s, formed up Studio Iron Cat, and we published Japanese manga translated in English. So that's how I got involved.
That is awesome. So, tell us a little more about Studio Iron Cat. I do remember collecting some of the comics that came out of your powerhouse.
What would you like to know?
Anything that you want to share. I mean, what was it like running your own business there? You know, the titles that you had to work on.
Oh, it was a great learning experience. You know, I would highly recommend that anybody that wants to make their hobby into their career should, of course, take business classes and be very smart with how they run a business, and just learn from the past mistakes of others. I had a good time with Studio Iron Cat. I had a rough time with Studio Iron Cat, and I have no regrets.
That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. You go out there, you work hard. If it's great, it's great. If not, you learn from it and you pick up the pieces and you keep going.
Exactly.
So, since Studio Iron Cat, what have you been up to?
Well, in 2008, I moved back to Japan with my lovely wife, Nikki. And I've been working for the federal government as a graphics artist and also as a television salesperson.
Wow.
And I've just been having a good time traveling the world and seeing places and doing things and going wherever I've never been before. I still go to anime conventions from time to time, so Katsucon, Anime Noir, Project Acon in Dallas, Texas. And then my wife has started up Fire Drake Publishing, where we've been publishing our own books, and
that's cool.
Books written by other artists as well, so please check out Fire Drake Publishing. And I still do comics and cartoons with everybody and anybody in general, so
that sounds really cool.
Thank you.
So I would assume you've been checking out some of the comic cuts as well?
Oh yes, I've been to comic cuts a few times over there in Japan. I've been also doing a Cosparade event, Cosparade in Hiroshima, where people can come and dress up in costumes and then just walk about and get their pictures taken at picturesque ancient Japanese sites. And it's open to anybody, pretty much. And even if you don't have a costume, they actually have some costumes for rent.
Oh, that is
for less
awesome.
than 500 yen. So it's all about getting your picture taken, walking around and having a good time, dressed in costume. So Cosparade.
That's really awesome. So can you feel like a slight difference between like conventions in Japan as well as conventions here in the US?
Oh, they're a lot more rigid, more structured in Japan. Over here it's kind of loose, go as you please, people wearing costumes and just kind of walking all about having a good time. And then there's all these panels and interviews like what I'm doing with you. But in Japan it's a lot more structured. A lot more stricter, not as free or accessible like it is here. So to be perfectly honest, I really like the American anime cons a lot better. But in Japan, if you have to go to the big comic markets up in Tokyo, go to Comic-Con or the big Tokyo Anime Festival, and do them at least once and just experience it and see how you like it.
Awesome. Now, out of the titles that came out of Iron Cat, was there a particular one that was like a favorite here?
Oh, I'm going to sound like the perfect company guy that says like, oh, everything was fine. But I would say, for me, I really did enjoy working on all of the titles that I got to work on. But I would say like one of my real pleasures and joy working with it was I loved doing the touch-up artwork on the Vampire Princess Mew comics. Keeping the costumes correct and the weapons correct, even before it was common to publish Japanese manga from the left and right. We had to flip them back in those days.
Yeah.
And so in order to keep everything correct, I had to re-flip all the artwork so that it still looked correct. I really enjoyed doing the sound effects for Genki Clinic and Cool Devices. That was a lot of fun.
I remember collecting those.
And I worked on Cutie Honey and worked with Sendo Knife on his Mantis Woman, and that was a lot of fun. So I had a lot of good times though, can't complain.
What would you say to anybody, aspiring artists out there, want to make it in the business?
Besides the pep talk that everybody gives everybody with stick to your guns and keep at it, all I can really add to that is if you really want to do it, do it. You know, there's no such thing as can't, won't, don't know how. Just turn it around into we'll know how. Will can't do. I mean, will can do, and just go for it. You know, you're not going to get ahead in this life if you don't take chances and just do it. So go for it, guys. If you want to make this, if you want to be a cartoonist or a creator or an artist or whatever it is you want to be, get off your ass and actually do something about it. Make your dreams come true.
This man is a legend. He speaks the truth. Listen to him. There's nothing else I can really tell you. So I think we're good. So I appreciate the time.
Hey, I appreciate talking to you guys anytime. You guys are awesome.
And if anybody wants to find any information on you, where can they find you?
Well, they can find the information at www.stevebennetart.com, although it is a little out of date. I need to refresh it. Okay. Find me on Facebook, Steve Bennett Iwakuni Japan, or Everything Cartoony with good old Steve Bennett. Then Fire Drake Press, which is my wife's company, and Nikki's, so, find her on Facebook at Nikki Bennett-Writer. And, please come, see me at any of the conventions. Come to Japan and visit with us in the Iwakuni, Hiroshima area. Come to Coscarade and let's have a good time.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, man.
You're very, very welcome.
All right. Signing out.
All right. Take care, guys.